Welcome to She's World. My name is Sheila, but you can call me She. Disclaimer out there, I am not an immigration lawyer. Every information that I'm providing here is information from my personal experience from going through this process. Okay, I have to say this. I just recorded this video and just realized that my sound didn't work. So I'm starting all over again. This is how much I just love to help. I'm not even playing right now. Okay, on to Form I-751. Of course, you're going to make sure that you're going to USCIS official website. And so I'm going to do that right here as usual. So, okay, USCIS. And then you're going to go to your Form I-751. Okay. What is Form I-751? This is a petition to remove your conditions of residence. So this form is the form we fill out after you have received your 2-year green card and you have 90 days before the 2-year green card expires. And so when you get the green card, it's going to show you the date you got the green card, and then it's going to show you the date the card expires. So 90 days before the expiration date, typically USCIS will send you a mail and let you know that your form is about to expire, but anything can happen. So like I said before, the onus is on you. The burden is on you to make this application important to you, because remember, you're the one who wants to be in America. Too easy. So 90 days before your 2-year green card expires, you have to fill out Form I-751. So here, what is this form for? And USCIS, that they do an awesome job by telling you what the form is for, literally walking you through the whole process, how to answer everything, and then how to add 2 passport size photos of the petitioner and the dependent regardless of the age. Everything is literally stated here for you. So make sure you're taking time to read through this. The filing fee. You are going to make 2 money orders or write the checks, one for $595 and then the other for $85. Literally, it tells you here, do not mail cash. It tells you how you should write the check. Make the checks or money orders payable to U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Everything is spelled out for you. It tells you, spell out the whole U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Do not use initials like these. This is step by step how to make sure you're filling the form correctly. And this is literally the information I transmit when I talk about it. What is the purpose of Form I-751? This petition is used by a conditional resident who obtained status through marriage to request that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, remove the conditions on his or her residence. Too easy. So we're going to come here and then we're going to fill the form out. This portion right here is definitely for the official use only. Here, petition to remove conditions on residence, Department of Homeland Security. This form says it expires 12/31/2019. So make sure this is the form that is currently on USCIS website. Make sure you can give USCIS a phone call and say, I'm trying to apply for this form. It says it expired on this date. Is this form still good to use? I encourage you to do that because you don't want to be in this situation where you file everything and USCIS will mail your package back to you and tell you the form is wrong. It has happened to me before. My entire packet was mailed back because I used one old dated form that I had filled out. So just a food for thought. Again, I'm not an immigration lawyer. This happened to me, so I don't want them to return your packet back to you. Okay, good. It says start here. Type or print in black ink. Part 1. This information is about you, the immigrant who had applied for the form I-130, all the process that we went through before, and now you are saying that you want them to remove those conditions from your green card and give you a 10-year green card. So this process gives you a 10-year green card when everything is said and done. So your family name, first name Smith, Smiles, middle name Happy. other names used. So this is going to be for your maiden name. If you have additional names that you use, you're going to go to part 11 that has additional information. I'm going to take you to part 11 real quick. Here you go, right here at the bottom right here. This is part 11. So if you have any additional information, you can always add it down here. Okay, because the form is going to keep referring us to part 11. So I just want to make sure I show you where you can find that. So right here, part 11, additional information. So you put your maiden name, and then if there is no other names you've used before, you can just put NA. If there is more, just add it. And then right here, you have your date of birth. So you put your date of birth, and then country of birth, Ghana, country of citizenship, Ghana, and then your alien registration number. At this point, you have your alien registration number because you have a green card, which is going to have an A number on there, and you should have had your social security card by now, so you put the number here. If you don't know your USCIS online account number, just put NA, not applicable, and that's fine. Your marital status. So we're going to say we're still married. We're going to put the date of that we got married, the place of marriage, and then here 13 says if the marriage through which you gain conditional residence has ended, provide the date it ended. So here, if your spouse has passed away or you got divorced, put the date right here. Conditional resident expires on, so on the green card you have, it's going to give you the date it expires. Go ahead and put that date right here. Here, your mailing address. So in care of, when I did it and I put my name here, I just realized that when the mail came, it just had my name printed twice. So you can leave this blank. It's perfectly fine, at least for what I did. You can leave it blank, or if you just don't like to, you can just go ahead and put your own name there. Put your address, your city, your state, and then your zip code. Okay, moving on. Is your physical address different than your mailing address? So if it's the same, you say, is your physical address different from your mailing address? In this case, no, we're using same addresses, but if your case is different, you hit yes, and then you have to go to item number 16 to provide your physical address. So here, item 17 says your physical address here. It doesn't apply because we just said that all this is the same. Okay. Then right here, it says additional information about you. Question 18. Are you in removal or deportation? So no, we are not. Was a fee paid by any? No. So read through the questions and make sure that you are answering very, very truthfully. And then 20 is asking if you've been arrested or detained or charged before. If you answer yes, you have to go to part 11 again. Remember, we went to part 11 down there for additional information. And then you have to explain what initial evidence is required. So you have to put every information for which you were arrested for in the additional information section, and then of course you want to attach those documents to your application when you file it. If you're married, is this a different marriage than the one through which you gain your conditional resident status? So we are saying no, this is not different, it's literally the same marriage, but if this is different, you hit yes. Have you resided at any other address since you became a permanent resident? So if you have, you hit yes. If you hit yes, go to item 22 and provide the list of addresses. And if it's not enough, go to part 11 at the bottom and then add more. So for this case, we say no. Is your spouse or parent spouse currently serving with or employed by U.S. government and serving outside the United States? For this purpose, we said no. Okay, part 2, biographic information. So if you notice something here, Literally, you are answering the same question form to form, form to form. That is why your consistency needs to be on point. Make sure you're going back to your forms. Make sure you're answering truthfully. That way, your entire form is going to remain consistent. I cannot even stress this enough. Okay, now we're going to put our height and then our weight, our eye color, hair color. Awesome. So part 3, basis for petition. Joint filing. My conditional residence is based on my marriage or my parents' marriage to a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, and I'm filing this joint petition together with, so select one. So here we are saying we are filing with our spouse. So that's it. If it's not that, you select the one A, B, C, D, whichever one that applies, but you're only allowed to select one. Part 4, information about the U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident spouse. So here we said that we've already established and said a spouse, we are filing together with our spouse. Okay, too easy. All right, so we're going to put our spouse's name here, Smith John Doe, his date of birth, his social security number. If he has an A number, we put it. If he doesn't, we just leave it blank. Or you can put NA. However you feel it's fine. Blank or NA is perfectly fine as well, at least in my case. Your physical address and then the country. Okay, awesome. Part 5, information about your children. So if you had any children, you're going to include that here. Provide information on all your children. If you need extra space to complete this session, use the space provided in Part 11, additional information. So Part 11 keeps showing up. So we have to remember, if you have additional information, that's where you're going to go to the bottom of the page. Okay. So we said we have a child. Her name is Smith. Her first name is Sunshine. She doesn't have middle name. And this is her date of birth right here. Is this child living with you? We said yes. Is this child applying with you? We said no. So we are good on that because their child was born here, so they don't need to apply with us. The physical address of the child, we're going to put that here. Of course, it's going to be the same address that we live at. If your child lives elsewhere, you indicate the address. Wherever you live, you put the address here. And then the rest of it is going to be NA because we don't have another child. Typically, I just put it for the first section here, and I don't have to go through the whole phase of putting NA again. But if you want, you can go through and put every single one NA just like so. Any part that will let you edit, you can do that, but I don't do that. I just put it for the first one and it's worked for me unless something is changed. Okay, awesome. Let's go down here. The children portion is a little bit more up to child 5, I think. Okay, good. Part 7. Petitioner statement, contract information, acknowledgement of appointment at USCIS. Okay, good. Here says the petitioner, which is me, who is applying to remove the condition for my 2-year green card. So here, I can read and understand English. So we're going to read this and check this box right here. You can check only one box for this purpose. Select the box of item number 1A or 1B if applicable. Select the box for item number 2. So here, in case you have requested the services of another party, then you can use that here. For the purpose of this video, we are saying we can read. This is our phone number. I typically repeat my number twice. And then this is my email address. Awesome. On to the next. Now, here it says petitioner signature. So this portion will let you type the date. After you print it out, you're going to sign right here. And then part 8, spouse spouses or individuals listed in Part 4. So for us, we listed our spouse. You have to make sure your spouse and you read all the penalties involved in signing this form. So your spouse is going to say, if they can read and understand English, they're going to check this box right here. And then we're going to come here. They're going to provide their phone number and then their email address as well. Awesome. So here, the same thing is going to apply. Remember, when you print it out, make sure your spouse signs here. So acknowledgement of USCIS Application Support Center. So here you're going to type your name once you take it out. This is not allowing me, but once you print the form out, you can also type your spouse's name right here. So remember, this is in conjunction with your spouse. Your portion is up here. Here, you're the petitioner, so this is you right here. And then see, awesome. And then you're gonna come down here, your spouse. So your spouse is also going to acknowledge. And then we're going to come back here. If you use an interpreter, the interpreter is going to complete this portion of the application. But since we did not, we're going to leave it blank. And of course, the interpreter will sign and put their information here as well. Beautiful. So here, this portion right here, let me bring it here. Again, I want to make sure that up to part 10 this is part 10 continue. So all of part 10 is for your interpreter if you used one. And then we're going to come here, part 11 that we talked about. If you have any additional information, you can put here. You can type your name and your A number here. I have typically left it blank, but you can type it and then you can go through to put NA if you want to. I have typically left it, but again, I'm not an immigration lawyer, so you can go ahead and just put NAs in here to indicate that it's not applicable and you don't have anything to add. And we have come to the end of filling out our form I-751. Thank you so much for watching. I really wish you all the best in this application journey. I know it's not easy, but it's going to get better. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you have any questions for me in the comment section. Bye, Royals. Stay safe.